Welcome to the Counselor tutorial for managing patient documents. We'll begin here in the patient administration screen, and then we'll click on the Docs tab. This is the area where you can add documents specific for this patient at any time, and then of course retrieve them at any time. Now it's important to differentiate the patient document section from the clinic document section. The clinic document section is where you can store documents that are not intended to be viewed within a patient profile. For example, invoices for patients that may have 10 patient names on one invoice, for example, can be stored here. Today we're going to focus specifically on the patient document section. Okay, so these are all documents that you receive from a patient, for example, insurance documents, forms related to the patient's hearing instruments, new purchases, repairs, etc. So all kinds of different things. Now it's important to note this area is highly flexible, meaning you can set up your own folder structure as you prefer, right? So here's some sample folders we have in place, and there can be subfolders within these as well. So if you have specific high-level folders and then subfolders, you can set those up as needed. Now the setup of these folders does occur under administration, under patient setup documents. That's where you can define your specific folders. And I would encourage you to spend a few minutes thinking it through as to what folders and subfolders you want within patient profiles, because once you set that at the administration level, it will then apply to all patients going forward. So you want to make sure you have that thought through and in place, because once you do, it's really easy to get the documents or image files or NOAA files or whatever you need in place very, very easily. Okay, so some quick ways for getting documents loaded. First and foremost, you can simply upload them, right? If you already have the document in digital form, you simply click upload. You can drag the files into this area or select add files. You can search from within your computer, pick one or multiple files, and then upload. Okay, and there we have our file. Now it's important to note that you can have multiple file types. I referenced image files. Here's a Word document, spreadsheet, NOAA file, of course PDF, other image file types. So it's very flexible as to what images file types I should say, you're able to load to this section and retrieve later on. Okay, now of course with documents in place, you can then look at them, right? You can click on them. It'll open up a little viewer that will show you that image. So here we'll look at the PDF, for example. If you do have a spreadsheet, I should mention, you likely want to go ahead and just download that straight away. Depending on the size of the spreadsheet, that doesn't tend to show as well in the viewer, so you may just go ahead and download it. But with any document, you can download, of course. And there's all kinds of tools in here as well along the way. Maybe you need a specific folder for a certain patient that isn't general to the entire patient database. You can certainly create a new folder, a subfolder here. Of course, you can delete folders, delete individual files from here. A lot of different tools. You could take multiple files and zip them up if you needed to provide them elsewhere. So a lot of little tools in here you can have as needed. Okay, but back to the point of adding files in. So the first thing we did there is we uploaded some files. Let's look at some other options here. If we click on the device upload option, there are two other choices. First off, and by far the most commonly used in this area, is the scan feature. This is a direct scan feature that enables scans to go directly from the scanner to Counselor. Right, so there's no need to download and upload. It goes directly from the scanner right into the folder of your choosing. Now the only thing you need for that is your scanner needs to be what's called Twain compatible, T-W-A-I-N, Twain compatible. The vast majority of scanners are in fact Twain compatible. So all your major manufacturers, your HPs, your Brother, your Canon, Epson, all those major manufacturers are in fact Twain compatible. So you should be in typically in good shape with the equipment you already have. To scan something, of course, you go ahead and click on the scan option. I apologize, I do not have a scanner attached to this device, but you would see a list of your scanners available. So if you had multiple on your network, you'd be able to see that as well. You can go ahead and scan it. You have the ability to perform different operations with it. So you could rotate it, crop it, rename the file, of course. This can be multi-pages, whatever you need. And that can go through the feeder tray, or you have it on the scanner glass. But once you save it, you'll see a pop-up that will show you a preview of the document just to make sure it's what you expect. So for example, if you're using a feeder tray and a page folded, you'd know right away. Okay, then you could rerun that scan and save it properly. Okay, but no have to find that later on. And then once, of course, you have the document in place, then you're all set moving forward there. Now, another option here is Snapshot. This is a mobile app that counselors created that enables you to use your smartphone or tablet, whether it's Android or Apple, to take a picture of whatever it is you wish to capture. So a common use for Snapshot is, in this particular area, is if a patient walks into the office and their BTE was chewed up by a cat, right? Something bad happened, right? They unfurl the Kleenex, you take a look, you may want to snap a picture of that to show that's how the device arrived. And that, of course, then can be stored right in here for later reference. Okay. Snapshot is used elsewhere in the system for capturing patient profile pictures and images of insurance cards, but here it tends to be used for things that are either unscannable or if you do not have a scanner available. Perhaps you have a mobile audiology practice or you went to a patient's home or a senior care facility and it's not convenient to use a scanner. You could very easily use Snapshot to grab images of whatever documents or anything you need to store, and that will load it straight in as well. So hopefully very flexible for getting these documents in place. It's also important to note there is no limit to the file storage within Counselor, and there's also no charge. So unlimited and no charge. So you can scan in your documents, you can use Snapshot, upload them, whatever you need to do. You can load these files in very, very easily. Okay, and as you have referenced earlier, if you ever need to download a file, you certainly can at any time. Just highlight the file or multiple files, go ahead and download it or zip it up. Okay. All right, so of course, if you have any questions about how to use the documents feature in Counselor, please give us a call, email us, live chat us. We are always happy to help. And thank you very much for joining us for the Managing Patient Documents tutorial.